Thank you for stopping by Ballistic Barbecue. On this video, I am going to be preparing a porchetta on my Napoleon gas grill. Let's get going. All right, porchetta, it's a roasted pork dish, comes from Italy. There are all sorts of variations based on region, and I'm going to be kind of skirting that traditional line, but we're going to be throwing in some twists to kind of match the flavors that my family and I like. What we're going to do now is start off with the seasoning preparation. I have here some rosemary leaves. We're just going to start kind of roughly chopping these guys. All right, they're getting there. Let's go ahead and push these off to the side for the time being. All right, now we're going to incorporate some garlic into the mix, and I am going to be using 5 cloves. All right, we're getting a pretty fine mince here. Now I'm going to go ahead and just use the knife and kind of mash this up. Now we're going to bring this rosemary back into the picture here and get this all kind of blended up. All right, that looks really good. Let's go ahead and get this out of the way. All right, so let me introduce you to this gorgeous pork belly. All right, so here's our pork belly. This is actually a section of a much larger piece that I removed. Skin on, obviously, and this probably weighs 6.5 plus pounds. And what I did was last night I put this in the refrigerator, uncovered, skin up, trying to dry out the skin just a little bit. Occasionally I'd wipe the moisture that was coming out of the belly off of the skin. We're going to go ahead and season this now. Look at this, this is just a gorgeous piece of meat here. We're going to start off with some sea salt. Just a nice liberal application here. And what I have right here is a pork loin. I'm going to go ahead and season this top side here. Right now I'm going to take that rosemary garlic mixture, just sprinkle this about. Get some of this onto the pork loin. All right, what I have here is fennel pollen. We're going to go ahead and sprinkle some fennel pollen on here. And if you can't find fennel pollen, I bought it online. I'll leave a link down below, but you can just take fennel seed and grind it up and you'll get pretty good results there. Okay, now I'm going to take some cranberries. This is dried cranberries, craisins if you want to call them that. I'm just going to sprinkle a few about here and there. Again, this is kind of a holiday dish and I need cranberries during the holiday. Some chopped pecans. And some pretty thinly chopped Granny Smith apples, just a few chunks here and there. All right, we're going to grind some pepper here, some black pepper. Let's get that piece of pork loin on here, right down in the center of this belly. We'll get this seasoned up. Pecans. Now let's go ahead and apply a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. All right, now I'm going to get my hands dirty and I'm just going to go ahead and press all these apples and craisins and what have you in there. This probably would have been a good time to glove up again, but it's okay. That's what sinks are for, right? Let's get this all mashed in there so it kind of sticks when we roll this. Before I go any further, I forgot something, so let's go ahead and pull this loin off. No big deal, I'm glad I caught it. We're going to go ahead and put a little bit of orange zest into the picture here. I would have been totally bummed had I not saw the orange and remembered I needed to do this because it's one of my favorite parts. All right, so let's get this rolled up. We're going to go ahead and mash this down. Just make sure these seasonings stay in place here. They look pretty good. Let's go ahead and roll this bad boy up. Nice. All right, I'm going to wash my hands again. We'll get this all trussed up. All right, so the first thing we are going to do here is secure this end. And there's some fancy ways of doing this. I just tie a simple butcher's knot. All right, looking good. Meet you out on the patio. We'll get this thing on the rotisserie. It's going to be awesome. All right, as you can see, porchetta is on the spit. Now, as I was compressing it, this one loop began to loosen just a little bit. So erring on the safe side, I went ahead and threw in an extra loop. I just don't want any mishaps. We're ready to cook. Now, my Napoleon has a rear burner here for the rotisserie feature. However, we're not going to be using it yet. We will be using it towards the end of this cook. What I'm going to do is light this burner and this burner. Get the spit rolling here. As you can see, just very quiet. We're going to go ahead and close the lid. All right, so I'm looking for a cooker temperature of 325 degrees. Now, right now I have both of those end burners cranked up all the way. As soon as the thermometer on the hood hits 250 degrees, I'm going to crank both of those knobs down halfway, and I'm going to monitor that thermometer. I'm going to see where it settles. If I need a little bit more heat, I'll simply crank it up. If I need less, I'll crank it down. And for a porchetta this big, I'm guessing 4 to 5 hours cooking time. What I'm looking for is an internal temperature of about 150 degrees. At that point, I'm going to pull it off, let it rest. See you in a bit. All right, we've been cooking about 4 hours now, and that internal temperature is really close to where I want it to be. I just want to crisp the skin up a little bit more than it is now. It's got gorgeous color. I just want to make it a little bit more crispy, so we're going to use that rear burner. All right, so far very, very happy with this cook. The neighborhood just smells amazing. Again, we're crisping that skin using the back burner. It's a pretty close heat source, so I want to make sure I keep an eye on this so I don't burn it or anything. So as soon as it's done, I'll give you a peek and then we'll go try it out. All right, guys, I gave it another, I don't know, 15 minutes. Check it out. We'll stop the motor on this piece of art. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull the pork off the cooker, take it into the kitchen, let it rest a little bit, slice it up, meet you inside the kitchen. All right, the porchetta is all rested and ready to be carved into. I cannot emphasize how unbelievable this thing smells. It just smells so good. It's carving in very juicy. And just look at that. Oh. Now it's the tough part. I need to try this out. Let me see. Go with a little bit of skin here, a little bit of the loin, very tender. Again, the nice thing about cooking it this way is all that fat from the belly renders down and just bastes this loin. That skin, it's just so caramely and sticky in the mouth. It's awesome, awesome. This is really good. Massacring this thing. Very, very festive. You know, there's cranberries have rehydrated. Get that crispiness from the pecans, the zestiness from the zest. And the pork skin is insane. I mean, stick a candle to this. I'll have it for my birthday cake. This is awesome. Another really cool thing about this is it's a lot less expensive to prepare than a turkey or a ham or definitely a prime rib. So something to think about. This is actually going to be on my Christmas table this year. Anyway, guys, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. See you on the next video. Cheers.